Hello, welcome to another video of Dragonheir Silent Gods, and I bet you're wondering what heroes to run with maybe your main guy here, like my Traveler, and I'm going to give you 5 rares that I would definitely recommend. If you unlock them, you can easily use these in your team, because you're going to have them in the early game, mid game, and a lot of them are even late game viable. So it's going to be one of those strategies for you for the long term that you're going to invest into. So let's get into today's video. And welcome to my Dragonheir top 5 rare hero guide for you. And this is going to be everything you need to know for 5 heroes you can place in your teams, a couple of different elemental affinities, and some tips and tricks throughout each of their stages. So if you want to learn a little bit more of the game, you know what to do. Smash like, comment, and subscribe. My name is MrSneakyy, and we're here today to help you. So with all of that said, let's get into the first ever hero. The first hero I want to talk about today is Usher. Yes, the Frost one and only, and she is a powerhouse. I am not going to lie. The reason why she's a powerhouse, honestly, is the way her whole kit actually works. Because when you go into her skills, her first passive skill is every second basic attack. If they're enemy is under a frost effect, you're gonna deal double damage on your third attack. So she does some insanely big attacks when you start pumping out those freeze triggers. And then on top of this hero gains a shield and attack up, which is a nice buff, right? She gets to tank herself up, get some extra attack speed, allowing her to obviously get more of those triggers. But what's even more powerful, and this is what makes her really good in this game, is her ultimate. So when you activate this, when you get this energy in your battlefield, you're going to slash forcefully twice, and it's dealing cold damage to the target with a 100% chance to inflict frost. But if they are already inflicted with frost, guess what? The skill damage is doubled, and this does give you some insane damage windows with Usher, and you can make some easy comps with her. And if you just go into the little question mark suggestion and recommended lineups, it does give you a bunch of heroes here you can work from. Even just suggesting some basic heroes, and again, rare hero like 4-bit, and even another rare hero, Zephos here, that are all going to enable you to make a frost comp. And if you have a frost damage dealer like DPS, you're going to be able to just slot them in and change them up and upgrade them with these solid free rare heroes. But Usher definitely takes the slot. She's so good. I would definitely recommend using her and wanting her in your account. The second hero I want to talk about is Hexandra, and I'm not gonna lie, you get access to this hero very early on. She's free and she is phenomenal, and I would recommend actually working on her, because you'd be surprised, for a support hero, you will be using her quite a lot, because she is one of the best healers in the entire game for just a rare investment, which is really good, because it means when you're looking at her passive skills, you can see why. She has a really good effect where you can heal basically any enemies that are dropping below 40%, which is really good. It means any type of healing you're doing is increased by 30%, and you will notice everything she does is healing. So she heals an ally and dispels them on her battle skill, and then her ultimate skill will heal a giant AoE heal, right? And you're going to get a massive portion of heal, and then again you can increase this per level, which is really nice for her. And I'm not going to lie, I will use her so much. And one thing people will not understand in this game, and I kind of fell for it in the first, couple of days of playing, is kind of trying to stick with this elemental affinity, right? There's certain times when you are trying to get this 5-star hero, but there's no reason to. Just the 3-star is enough. So if you are using, for example, some Frost heroes or Lightning heroes, Radiant, you name it, and you just need a good support, I'm just saying, you can always whack your Hexandra in there from this little poison category, and you will be laughing at how much healing she's doing for your team, right? So really good support. Definitely would recommend this hero straight away for your team. The third rare hero I want to recommend is Irina, and she is a phenomenal support. Again, if you've noticed, a lot of these are support-based heroes or some sort of tank-based role. Because in the game, I'm just going to say, it's really easy to replace damage. You can always find damage easier. But finding a good support and finding a good tank is really, really difficult. And Irina is a really good lightning style support because she's a very offensive support while actually fulfilling the needs of a support, right? So what I mean by this is when we look at her skills, whenever she deals damage to enemies, that hero is going to basically grant a shield to the nearest ally. So if she deals damage to anyone, guess what? You're healing with a big shield. Really good. And the cool thing is when we start looking into her kit, and this is what makes her a really good support, is that she has this battle skill, which is nice, beautiful chain lightning. So she's going to deal a nice amount of area of effect damage for your team, which gives you some really good area of effect shields and just big shields on top of this. But more importantly is the fact when you get Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm deals damage to the target within range and has a 75% chance of putting attack penalty rank 2 on it, which reduces their attack by 50%. That is a massive debuff onto the target. On top of this, she has also a 75% chance of dispelling one of their buffs. And this is actually going to be very important during certain raids, certain bosses, certain missions, where they are going to get these attack steroids and you need to actually dispel them in order for you to actually progress through each phase of the fight. So Irina here is a phenomenal support. I would always recommend her as well. If you're looking for a lightning style support for your team, definitely pick her up. I'm already working on it and putting her in mine. The fourth hero I'm going to recommend is another Frost boy, but it's Gusni, and it's for a different reason entirely for players, because the Frost team, to make Frost really good, is all about keeping that buff on, right? And early game there is a couple of heroes that can do this. I will say there's Gusni that does this, and there's also another hero that I've been personally using myself, which is Zephos, which is a really good kind of enabler of Frost. But the beautiful thing about Gusni is he extends the durations of these buffs. So whenever an enemy is inflicted with Frozen, it extends the duration of all debuffs on that enemy for 5 seconds. This is a very powerful effect because once we put a Frozen on, if they have any attack penalties, recharging speed penalties, defense penalties, anything, it's going to increase them by an extra 5 seconds. And you'll notice when we go into his kit, which I actually really like, he grants a shield to a target ally and grants some defense up too, which increases their defense by 60%. This does allow Frost teams, if you kind of want to be a little bit greedy at times and run something like a 4-bit as your main front line and only running a singular tank in that front position to absorb it all, this Gusni does a fantastic job in that playstyle because he is going to be putting the shield on top of Norbit. He's obviously then going to make him even more tankier, and then Norbit's abilities are going to go off and make him even more tanky, which is just crazier. So you can see it's a very good funnel comp if you want to play that style. And on top of all of this, you do some damage, which I actually like. You deal some AoE damage with a 50% chance to inflict Frozen. So you are enabling freeze effects. So again, if you are wanting a hero that can support a hero and also trigger Frozen on multiple AoE targets, I actually think Gusni is a great hero. It does a really good job at doing that in the early game. And again, you're going to figure out epic and legendary heroes potentially in your second or third season. You might replace this hero for one of those. And the final hero I'm going to recommend is Notera, and she is again another free hero and the final hero you're going to be able to obtain when you are playing through the season, and it's a really good hero for rare. And I'm not going to lie, I have been using her so much because she is kind of like a, I wouldn't say a tank, she is more of a, you know, front line, but she deals damage, right? She's all about dealing damage. And that's what's really good because you can use her with certain combinations in like the Goblin layer, and she does a fantastic job at just killing those goblins, doing some insane AoE damage, and allowing your AoE team to clear through really, really fastly. And she does this really easily, and that is through her passive skills, approaches an enemy and assaults target quickly, but she's getting a 20% damage bonus effect against anyone under poison. So this is what's great about it, because when you're making a poison style team and you get those poison triggers off, your Notera is always going to be, dashing towards them with a 20% damage trigger, allowing her, when she does actually hit this Abyssal Frost, which is a monstrous move where she gets to target one enemy, and if she kills that enemy, it explodes, dealing 100% more damage, basically inflicting poison all everywhere. It's insane when you see this thing. It's one of the most satisfying moves in the entire game to fire off. And the thing is, she has obviously a nice battle skill, right? She deals poison herself, and she has a 75% chance of inflicting stun for 2 seconds onto those targets. So she has CC, she does insane AoE, she has everything you need, and instead of being a support or tank hero, I thought I'd finish this up with an actual DPS hero. I know every single one of you will have, and you're probably wondering, is she good or is she not? And honestly, I am using her all the time, and I think she is a fantastic hero in this game of Dragonheir Silent Gods. And that is it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. 5 rare heroes in the game. 2 of them you should already have, and then the other 3 should be easily accessible. And if you're wondering how you can get one of them that you're missing, just remember, through the seasonal pass, if you get to level 10, you are able to hit that juicy 3 rare hero chests. So you can unlock one of these heroes on the list and obviously get them in your team that you might be missing out on. So don't worry about it, you will get them over time, and I hope I've helped you out in this Dragonheir Silent Gods video. And if I have, you know what to do, guys. Smash a like, comment, and subscribe. My name's MrSneakyy. I do tons of videos on Call of Dragons, Dragonheir Silent Gods, and Riftstorm. So if you want to check any of those games out or any of my content out, you know what to do. So until next time, stay safe, stay sneaky, guys, and peace out.